Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR VRS iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy everybody, and welcome to the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by Virtual Racing School here at Snetterton Racing Circuit on beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm Austin Knight, joined by Marco Barbonera, who is also doing double duty as always in the commentary box and the production booth, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
Oh yes, Austin. Hello everyone. Hello to you, and what a fantastic night of racing we have in store for you as the iGPFun cars tackle a racetrack that has not been very used lately. It has been absolutely requested from the community for a long time, this Snetterton racetrack, but it has fallen out of favor quite quickly. Not the most exciting or technical track in the landscape of British motorsport, but you know, if there is a series that can make any track fun, it is, no pun intended, iGPFun, exactly. So,
and
you know,
I actually have a stat. I have a stat for you. In the last 2 years of iRacing, the least used track of any series is Snetterton. It is statistically the least used track in all of iRacing. So a lot of drivers are not familiar with this place. They certainly became familiar over the entire week. After we ended last week out, they saw we were coming. I assume most of them bought the track right then and there, and then started learning it. And well, Snetterton, it's got a few quirks here and there, you know, some odd bumps here and there, especially that ending section, which I gotta say is probably, we were talking about, is home to the weirdest chicane ever, and probably the most noticeable bump on any circuit, and we're riding on board with QT Marteau through that weirdest chicane ever, and then through bomb hole right here. Boom! There's the bomb. And then over to that quadruple apex corner. So it's just a increasingly lower radius turn into that tight final 90-degree left-hander, and then onto that front straight. And that is, well, that crazy, wacky, some call it wacky, final sector.
Yes, absolutely. And Austin, you know, it's a track that doesn't have a lot of passing opportunities. One of the primary passing spots will be here at the hairpin. Now, if it was a 200 layout, they will turn left. But no, they go straight, and this is the track extension that has been built when they did the renovation works around this place a few years ago. As you can see, very, very flat, and the braking areas are not very harsh in this section here. But so if you want to go for a dive, you have to be very committed.
You're gonna have to, you know, bring out all the big guns for a big old dive, and well, if you do that, you might be seeing some craziness on lap 1. But here in iGPFun, they don't really like the craziness. But hey, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, Marteau. I'd say the other best passing opportunity is right here, coming onto that back straight. You know, you got a little bit of a straight, get some slipstream, position your car on the inside or the outside heading into this chicane. And the entry to this chicane is extremely fast, but the exit is extremely slow. So you're going to have to be on the brakes there. And it's going to be a fight of the wits, of the elbows, a little bit of the grease. And I think, actually, I'm not going to finish that sentence unless Marco has his hand ready on the sensor button.
By the way, sorry, I you know, forgot that we had the gaps off, but as you can see, 1 minute and a half left.
Very tight.
In the qualifying session, and Olson is your leader, and you know, he doesn't have his flag still, not in the overrides, but he has his livery, and apparently a championship livery for QT Marteau. There it is, as you can see. Instead of the blue, I think it's
gold.
sort of a golden color. I know the sun is so low, so it's, you know, a bit difficult.
It's just shining off that car, and he's also sporting a new helmet as well. And I gotta say, I love that new helmet that he's got going on. You know, he showed me it last week after the race, like, just saying, I don't know if you noticed, but new helmet, I saw it, I'm like, I'm absolutely in love with it. It's kind of like a, I'm not sure what's on the front. Oh, hello.
Oh dear, who's this guy?
Is that my face? No, it's not my face.
I see some white hair on the right side of the, so...
I don't know who that is.
Seems like, I don't know if...
It has blue eyes, and that's why I immediately thought it was my face.
If you people in the know, please tell us. It looks like...
I'm guessing.
Maybe Stroll Senior? It looks a bit like Stroll Senior, maybe.
You know, it might be. Let's see. Google search. Dad. Lawrence.
In the meantime, Alex Fournier coming around the final corner. As you can see, this corner is so beautiful, but the downside is that it's not him.
Lawrence doesn't have blue eyes.
Okay. The downside of that is that the final corner is not really a passing opportunity right there, because
it's more of a stack-up opportunity.
Yeah. Speaking of stack-ups, of course, every time we go here, and it's been a while, as we were saying earlier, one of the downsides here is the first lap accordion effect at the hairpin. So I need to watch out for that. I'm sure the driver's briefing has been, you know, focusing on that. By the way, 33 cars on your starting grid tonight, as we are getting into the final few minutes of qualifying, final few seconds of qualifying. Just as a reminder, as per usual, that iGPFun is open to anyone that wants to join. You just need to have the ability to control the F3 in large grids, that will automatically disqualify me, for example, and respect for your fellow competitors. And this is a very open-minded community, very welcome to the new drivers.
They help you out, so if you're new to the F3 and you don't know how to really set up the car, just ask, and somebody might you know, give you a few tips. Now, I give you a few tips. I don't know about giving you a setup, because I know most of these guys use the virtual racing school software, and I know it's against their terms of service to give their stuff, so they won't give you the setup, but you know, they'll help push you in the right direction if you are not a part of a setup shop. But yeah, all these guys, very nice, very helpful, very quick, and they all know how to control the car. Unlike what you said, can't control the car at a big grid. I could, but I would. Yeah, I'm just gonna not talk about that because I kind of have a little bit of a temper thing that went out on the road, but that's a different story. What's not a different, what is also a different story, Tobias Olsen sitting on pole with QT Marteau starting in second place right beside him. Let's hope Marteau gets a better start off the line than he had at Watkins Glen, though he did come home in the victory last time, followed by Alex Fournier, Gavin Petty, Lucas Maruk, Daryl Governor, Samuel Hermer, Antonio Tellez, Clark Williams, Johan Bergeson, Andy Flint, Adam Talsma, Rod McGuire, Kazuma, Kubuku, Sonny Rosario, Stuart Millen, Luca Ferrari, James Cockram, Chuck Morrow, Julio Palico, Zoltan Zoboner, Ewan Corteques, Richard Veet, and Antonio Ruzeski in 24th. Behind them is Leonardo Ocherek, QD Ido, Reed Dennis, Zachary Beeson, Patrick Rollins, Martin Devine, Alessandro Dalladone, Russell Kirkwood, and Cody Grams, who did not set a qualifying time. 25 car, 33 cars lined up, ready to go here at Snetterton for the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by VRS. And, you know, they're going to be racing into that hairpin. It's going to be very tight, but like I believe to be always right, it's better to be racing into a hairpin than have a rolling start coming out of a hairpin. Long Beach.
Just waiting for Marteau and Olson. Here they are.
I am not triggered at all, I swear. Did he just reverse off the line? Well, it's green, green, green. It's a bad start by Olsen. Marteau gets off the line, rockets into the lead side by side for the fight, and Fournier's right onto the back of Olsen right there. Olsen had a very weird start. I saw his car move backwards a little bit, but Olsen held that bottom line. Olsen back up into the lead, heading into the hairpin, hard onto the brakes. Everyone goes. It's a little bit wider than some of the hairpins, but you know, I think all these guys have got a little bit of a gentleman's agreement, and it's been ruined. James Cockram is around in the hairpin, but it's also Marteau, Fournier, Petty, Maruk, your top five. Marteau faked it to the outside, went down to the inside, trying to get Olsen up onto his tippy toes right there. They head into the inner loop and heading into Hamilton Corner. Hamilton Corner, home of the F1's most winningest driver, 100 wins, Lewis Hamilton.
I don't know what happened, but at the mid pack, somebody spun, I think, when the green lights went off. And where is Marteau? Wait a second.
Marteau's off. Marteau's
Everyone
off.
is off.
Right there.
They're all
Marteau's
in defense.
Williams. Oh my gosh, no.
Look at that.
The rain has. Oh no.
It really is raining.
The rain has been turned on. The rain has been turned on by iRacing.
If you can get a replay of the start, Austin, and look towards the middle of the field, if we can, maybe this is a good camera, but someone had a terrible start.
Yeah, okay, so Tobias did reverse off the line.
Look at that. Oh, somebody didn't start there. It was Adam Tasma.
Adam. He's probably looking at those eyes right there, but chaos right there. Alessandro Dalladone spun on his own, didn't hit anybody, but Alessandro, just chaos, and more chaos as well as there. He went onto the back straight, and it was like there was local rain right there as nobody had grip.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's very late in the day. We saw yesterday, of course, the F3.5 running around the Imola track late at night, and still late in the day. Sorry, and still it was super slippery. Speaking of which,
Tamburello had a multi-car crash, and then Alta had a crash. Piratella. Every corner there was a crash in the opening lap, and we were so confused what was going on over there. Lucas Maruk up onto the inside making a move. Marto is back in a second. What has happened to Olsen? Olsen's dropped down to 9th while we were in that replay.
Oh dear. Let's go grab a replay.
Olsen is off, and he's down in 9th place.
He went off somewhere as they are all going off again in the same corner.
Oh no!
It's Maguire, Mauro. We'll get to that in a second. This is what happened.
Well, this is old. Oh, he got a big hint of a slide into the final corner. Just goes wide, and around he goes, and right on the exit of the track. That is unfortunate. And back to pictures again at the back straight. Here's what happened. Multiple cars going off again, and this is heading onto the back straight, and contact right there. Ron McGuire goes off into the grass.
Okay, so this time it was not the oil spill, this time it was simply contact. Man, what a chaotic start to the race, and who
says Snetterton's a boring track?
And does Olson have a penalty for jumping the start?
I think, I don't know if anyone's ever got a jumping the start by going in reverse off the line, but he did move in his pit box. I have never tested if you get a jump start penalty if you reverse off the line. I've got the jump start penalty by, jumping the start accidentally, and one time on purpose. But, he has to come at the end of this lap if he does have a jump start penalty. Get 3 laps to do it for that manual go into the pits. But I don't believe you will be getting a jump start penalty. And also, this is a league. You can clear the admins can clear your black flags if you requested it, and if they're on top of that. And I know they're always on top of any silly black flag. So we probably got onto the mic and let everyone know. It's like, hey, it's impossible to clear my black flag. I reversed in my box. So in real life, they wouldn't have given a black flag. In a sim, it goes by a strict set of codes. So I don't believe he got a black flag. So
all of this, I wanted to say this before the, but too much chaos. Welcome back to Luca Varani.
Oh yeah, Luca's back. Yeah, he was actually making a move before we went off into. Oh, speaking of going off, Andy Flint's off.
Andy Flint is off. Looking at us.
Yeah, we gotta know who those
maybe that's Roger Penske. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good shout.
I see the white hair, and
you're just going off of white hair. That could be my dad, all you know. Whoa! Andy Flint has gone wide of the hairpin as Sonny Rosario and everybody else gets there. Andy Flint doing some lawn mowing by the famous Snetterton tree that also looks like a Angry Will Power PIR a few years back.
Alex Fournier leads the way, the Canadian, for Team Shazoo in front of his teammate QT Marteau, there is. And Lucas Maruk is in 3rd place for Digital Apex Cyanide. Gavin Petty.
Coming on to the back of one of the Metallica cars. Not Andy Flint, the other one.
Oh, sorry.
I got a photo of Roger Penske right here, and it does look like it.
Oh, come on. I always mistake the Digital Apex for the Metallica cars.
It's close. What about Adam Talsma? I want to see Adam Talsma.
I think it's the same. And also Adam is off.
But
Adam is off,
oh,
of course.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Adam. I think it is Roger Penske.
Here we go, also on the inside of Jimenez. As you can see in the distance, they have dropped a nuclear bomb, probably, given the color of the sky. Next target for Orson is Gavin Petty, of course. As they head for the infield section once again, we have 28 laps in store for you today, as Rod Maguire has had an off and has towed back to the pits. Let's see.
Oh no, Rod. Well, this is in that chicane, goes way. Oh, that's a scary rejoin. Okay, side by side into ball. Oh no!
Oh no!
No! Just gets it hooked on the other car. That's damage as well. And I think he parks it and he's done.
So last lap,
You know,
Tobias Olsson, Austin. As Olsson has to defend from Tony Jimenez there into the, let's say, chicane. So despite this his overtake in the previous lap, having to work for a pass, he was the fastest car in that lap and the fastest lap overall. So he has some serious pace in that NHR car. Yeah.
Yeah, just not the best start. Pole sitter here. He's got the fastest lap. He knows how to get here. Just, Ido's car has been looking a little bit worse for wear. Looks like, well, yeah, he's got front wing damage. He's got side pod damage. Something happened to that car. Looks like someone jumped up and bit it. You can get that thing to the pits, get a fast repair done. Because that car is a little worse for air. As Marteau locks up mid-corner of the hairpin. Right aboard of Lucas Maruk right behind him as they head into the inner loop. Heading down into that far hairpin. You know, it's a this track has a lot of hairpins in there. The Hamilton flick is immediately after that. Flick it to the left, flick it to the right. All the corners named after famous English? Is it famous English drivers?
No, because there is a corner called Agostini.
Okay, see,
legendary Italian motorbike, you know, basically so Italy's most famous. Yeah.
It's just legendary motorsports people.
For those that don't know, Agostini was the, you know, before Rossi came, he was the most famous and most winningest, if that's a word, Italian bike rider. He won a plethora of world titles over the years. We have a problem for, well, yeah, there it is, Birgersson. That final corner, it is so deceiving, Austin. You think you can make the braking area after coming from the quadruple apex corner, and then you can't.
Yeah, it's very deceiving, and you don't want to be caught out by that, especially when you're in a really good spot in a race and the championship. Small mistakes like that will really hurt you, but you know, I'm pretty sure they've got rid of all those mistakes during practice and testing for this race throughout the week. As well, the session switched over. The official series is also racing here, so they've been having races throughout the week. Everybody throughout iRacing and the Formula 3 community, if they wanted to race here, has been putting on their tips and saying on how they've been tackling, showing their struggles, and I've seen the fair share of struggles in the official practice sessions of cars just sliding off right there. So the incidents have not really been surprising. They've been happening where they've usually been happening, but oh man, even in this series, everyone is still very tight.
Cody Grams, I think, making his debut in the series, hunting the veteran Zomotor, and
this is very tight as Zoltan lets him by, and oh, that's Andy Flint off right there, and I believe that is the Roger Penske eyes staring him down. Marco, I sent you the...
Yeah, I saw a picture. I mean...
It's very close.
It is very close, absolutely.
But we will not know until one of them speaks up and tell us, or it's just going to be a giant guessing game. If you have any ideas of whose eyes those are, let us know in YouTube chat.
You know, since he's out of the race, I might send a private message to Adam, so hang on a bit.
And when we get the word from Adam, whoever gets it right gets an internet cookie. And internet cookies are amazing, even though you can't really, they don't really use much. They just help us out, especially if you go to a wonderful website like Apex Racing Academy. It will memorize all your preferences for that site when you go in and sign up for some of the best coaching and data packs and setups on all of iRacing over at ApexRacingAcademy.com and Virtual Racing School as well. 50+ data packs available for
someone is saying Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky?
If it is Wayne Gretzky, I've been watching ice hockey religiously for the last 11 years. That would be absolutely embarrassing. But I see some white hair on the side, so...
I think it'll be a current photo of Gretzky. You know, like I said, we'll find out. Whoever wins gets a cookie.
It's Vladimir Putin!
Well, we're going to the gulag. Goodbye. You know, as somebody
oh my god,
who likes a lot of Russian things, how do I not see that one coming? Oh no. You know who sponsored my viewing? It's Putin.
Oh, man.
Well, what a sponsor to have. I wish it was on the behind the car as well. So whoever gets behind this sees the eyes of Vlad just staring down.
Gavin Petty being pressured by the resurgent Tobias Olsson, as once again we remind you that he was in the lead of the race. He started from pole, he reversed, then got
a bad start off the line.
He still kept first place, but a mistake forced him to basically go down to 9th, and now he's setting fast lap after fast lap. Again, Olsson, member of the NHR.
That is a big look. He's still looking down the inside. He's got his nose on the back wheel, heading into riches. This is a very fast corner. Olsson up onto the inside, easy, and out for the Scandinavian.
There was a big moment for Ermer, just in the back of the shot. You can have a replay. Went a bit wide and woo! Mowing the lawn on both sides. Not making any preferences. So, up into 4th goes Olsson. Now, the lap time comparison with Maruk could be skewed because of the overtakes, but still, he seems to be very, very quick. As I was saying, Olsson and Marteau if I'm not mistaken, and they have fought in the Academy F3 series, which is on a hiatus, being replaced by the F2.0, which was the former car of this series, by the way. So these 3 drivers know each other and are very, very... I mean, Marteau is the fastest overall, but all 3 of them can win on their day. So this is not over just yet, especially because Olsson is really pushing hard. I don't know if the 2 Shazoo cars at the front are saving tires a bit, especially since we are seeing a lot of spins and, this race is longer than the official series races. Therefore, No, okay, everything is good.
Graham, I think that is just a little bit of lag happening. New
But
fast
look at
lap,
Olson.
Tobias Olson. And as you say, the top 4, all of them all of them are the fastest drivers in this series. Top 2 teammates, Fournier and Marteau, both of them, you know, Fournier, I think, has had the least chaotic race at all.
So, to finish my point, Austin, who knows if Olson, come the end of the race, will be able to keep the fantastic pace he has right now, or as we've seen in the previous races. For example, last week, you know, it seems like Marteau in the end of the race, when he needs those like 2-3 laps to put distance between himself and the following car,
he just turns it on like that.
Exactly, and the same goes for Fournier, of course, because I think he's saving a bit as well. Even though both of them at their personal best, even though the personal best 38.1, 38.0, Olson 37.7, so this is getting quite interesting. As I mean, the cloudy weather is not helping, but they might need some headlights in a bit.
Yeah, well, they got the clear visors out. It is technically nighttime right now, and we can see into those concentrated eyes of all these drivers, especially Lucas Moreau.
Oh, we can. Look at that.
Yeah, you know, these drivers very famous for the immediate visor cover switches, which, you know, during the new rain model, I think we'll be seeing some more clear visors as well.
Of course, taking a page out of the real-life F3 series, on Friday they basically raced in the dark almost in Russia. So, I mean, anything you can do, we can do better. Remember, this series raced under the lights in Spa earlier this season. No, last season, sorry.
Yeah, it was last. It feels like every time we say this season or anything of that happened this year, it always feels like we always want to say this season, but hey, racing happens in a year. We always say a year's a season, but here in iRacing, it's every 12 weeks, sometimes 13 weeks, but we don't get ahead of ourselves. It's 12 weeks this year. Last year, it was 13. And we had fun with that.
Oh yes, absolutely. Getting closer at the front. Let's see if the Shazoo guys will have a little push of the tactics button.
Nah, they're not pushing against each other just yet. They're still going on. But Marteau is on that gearbox of Alex Fournier ahead of him. And down into that very tricky chicane. You know, in GT4s, that corner is so tricky to get right because you have to slowly get onto the brakes. Not too much that you're losing a lot of momentum, but not too little so you aren't spinning out mid-corner. I don't know if that was just a me thing, but it was just so crazy. It was basically a reverse trail brake. But in these Formula cars, you know, they're much wider, much more tougher on the brakes, and they got all the grip in the world. So we aren't going to be seeing that, but on the cold tires, we did see them get extremely loose on the opening lap right there. And especially on the back straight, and Marteau was definitely getting loose on the back straight, as that is the bias.
Petty getting past Maruka.
Yeah. Well, Tobias also up in a third, getting past Gavin Petty, as I believe that was just Gavin letting him by.
No. That was Petty getting past Maruka for fourth place. Also, Austin has passed Maruka 2 or 3 laps ago. A lot of stuff to follow today on track, so
there are a lot of things.
You are excused, and this race has been again, you know, we don't want to, you know, because we always want to promote what we are streaming as exciting possibilities at the start of the race, but let's be honest, we didn't come into this race as Maruka goes for a bit of a rallycross moment. We weren't expecting. I'd be lying to you if I you know, if I tell you, man, I come into this broadcast thinking about this being a chaotic race, you know, but as they say, you never know. I mean, it's been
like
chaotic.
Everyone usually says, you know, the Russian Grand Prix is usually the most boring race of the season, next to Monaco. But, you know, as we saw today, the Russia Grand Prix was insane, as Lucas Baruch is heading into the pit lane.
We have a car off. It's Zomotor.
Richard Van Veen also had some pits.
So last week I told you how the names were difficult, the numbers were difficult to read on the Shazoo cars, and they have listened to me, and I'm very grateful, because now look at that number 1.
No, that is very pronounced.
Okay, you know, I say, okay, you know, and also a costume number for the 116 of Fournier. We cannot get a good look at it, especially because the light is so low, you know. I don't know if you saw on Thursday during the World Championship race at Spa, in the final lap they turned off the lights in the middle of the... Oh, what happened to Govender? He disappeared, and then he reappeared, and now he's okay. Okay.
Well, unfortunately, Marco, I wasn't able to see the World Championship race, as during that time I was busy currently, but when I tried to watch the VOD, it was actually removed from YouTube, and I know exactly why.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me laugh every time. Unfortunately, I wasn't able, but I was able to watch it via a friend's Twitch stream who's in it. So that's good.
Who knows if we'll see some of these drivers in the World Championship soon. Oh, Kazuma is around.
It's just going to be losing one spot to Sonny Rosario, and that is not going to be that much. Sonny Rosario going to be in for a fight, because we do know
another pit stop. This is Govender. Ah, yeah, of course, because he spun. Yeah, so probably some... he went off, then he had a lag spike, and then he reappeared, and he was still off, so... By the way...
it was a stop and go. He did deserve a stop and go, so...
Kazuma Kokubu, the new driver from Japan, making his debut. I mean, if I shared the same name as the legendary Kiryu Kazuma, I would be incredibly proud. Of course, for those that live under a rock, as also goes for a bit of rallycross, Kiryu Kazuma, the legendary protagonist of the best video game series of all time, Yakuza, which, by the way, has the new spin-off title Lost Judgment out 2 days ago. So... And this is not, I'm sadly not a paid spokesperson, but it's out for every system, unfortunately not for PC, but you know, that's another story.
And if you're the Apex Racing TV admin, just watching this and judging by performance, I had nothing to do with this. Please don't get mad at me.
On board with Marteau. GT Omega brings me back on his helmet, brings me back to the days of the V8 Euro V8 series that I used to do when I first started. Speaking of, and you know, I don't say this randomly, because Austin celebrated a very big milestone yesterday.
My 350th broadcast with everyone here on Apex Racing TV. 350 races of me shouting at a microphone on iRacing and butchering people's names. And having a good time.
Once again to the gap, and as you can see, still going down a bit less than earlier, but still going down. I see the time delta to have a better idea, and 1.8 seconds. So Olson is pushing. Maybe the push is fading just a bit, but still I think... Oh, Chuck Mauro! No, Chuck is around. Chuck. I think it's entering the 300 layout, 300 section, I'd say. Let's grab a replay, shall we? He was mostly alone.
Out of the flick, man. It's that very... Oh, we got into the grass in the braking zone. Car snapped around right there. You know, I was watching some vintage racing over the weekend. I saw a lot of cars snapping at VIR around just like that, but they were locking up the rear tires in some older Formula cars, and If you ever seen multiple generations of similarly leveled Formula cars, it is probably the greatest thing you'd ever watch on online. And you know, if you've never seen some vintage racing, I highly suggest everyone go out and watch some.
Bit of traffic here.
Yeah,
Let's see how the drivers deal with this.
It should be easy. They aren't going to be being held up a lot. Should be being let by on that back straight. But Olsen is closing down on these two.
Yeah, you can see him on this rear wing camera from Fournier. There he is, that red and white car and black, the NHR colors. NHR with their founder Niklas Rasmussen, of course, a team that's you know, with very deep roots into open wheel racing, from the MP4-30 all the way to the Skippies. They were the organizers of a fantastic Skippy championship in which I took part, in which I won a race at my first time in the rookie division, like in the.
A win's a win. A win is a win. And you take that and you run with it. All the way down to the end, so like a pick six. Like your Dolphins.
Yeah.
New fastest lap for Olsen.
Who gave up a safety in the meantime, so.
Just like the Dolphins always do.
Here comes Samuel Ermer on Tony Jimenez in the first corner, clipping that curb. You can't clip the first curb, you don't have to clip the second one because there is a crater there.
Yeah, if you hit that crater, your car turns into an airplane and you might be become the motorized version of a tumbleweed. But beautiful move by Herman right there. And oh, off goes one of the GT Omega cars. That was Marteau. Marteau goes off, and Olsen is right on his gearbox now.
Oh, and Olsen then pushing super hard. You can see he's fighting with the steering wheel. As he was,
he's getting a lot of dirty air. The low temperatures definitely not helping these tires keep heat in them as they head into that chicane, onto the brace, clip that curb, don't hit the giant softness curb, and 1, 2, 3 through the bomb hole. And I've been led to believe that was a bomb detonated in that hole or something. I don't know if that is fact or that is just track lore, but it's what the locals say.
One thing that's for sure is that Willpower 3 is sadly no longer with us.
It's here. It lives on the sim, but in real life, no.
Just like the Oak Tree at VIR, no?
Yeah. It was a very nice tree. I really like that tree. I have a very good sci-fi. Yeah, I had this. You know why I call it the Willpower tree, because it looks exactly like Angry Willpower.
Of course.
Yeah, I showed you the side-by-side photo comparison, and also in that hairpin, Marteau, a little small mistake, went a bit wide right there. And ooh, that's a big cut by Oslin. Might have got some grass on the tires. Goes a bit wide once again. Oh,
and he's
Oslin
leaving
really
dangerously.
struggling. He is living on the edge, the Scandinavian, but you know how they like to do it. They're a bit crazy.
So he lives to fight another day, does Tobias Olsson, but at what cost? And you can really tell, I mean now at least, that maybe the strategy of pushing very hard, which was not really, it was needed because he dropped down from 1st to 9th, really is costing him in this final, as we enter the final 9 laps of the race, Austin, because the leaders were more or less going you know, at a, I wouldn't say walking pace, but a relaxed pace all the way through, whilst he had to push and make a lot of, you know, daring and tough overtakes all the way through the first 20 laps. So we'll see if Olson, I mean, he has the pace. I think he's the fastest car out there, but let's see if the tires and of course the numbers game, because there's 2 versus 1, will play a part in deciding the winner of tonight's race here from Snetterton 200. I think it's a matter of these 3 drivers, Austin. Honestly, unless something crazy happens, don't think that Petty or Hermer have a chance of getting back into the contention for the win.
It's going to be a tight race to the end of these next 8 laps. Olson does have the fastest lap of the race, but last lap, the fastest driver out of these 3 was Alex Fournier. Remember, Olson did have that mistake, so that did slow him down just a bit, but he's right back on it. He just needs to keep his head down and keep his car in control. He's been struggling keeping heat in those tires, so you know, you see him gets a little bit loose right there as well, but he gets a great exit. He gets a good run on the champion defender, Marteau, on the inside. He's going towards Olson, Marteau, drag racing into turn 1. They're not giving room to anybody. They're not giving up any bit of space. Still side by side, heading into the Wilson hairpin. Hard onto the brakes. Olson on the apex, right in that curb, up into 2nd place. And oh my gosh.
I mean, that took some massive cojones.
I was about to say the same thing, and wow.
Props to Marteau for playing fair. What a battle between these 2 drivers. So Olson still has something in him, despite pushing like a madman, but look at Marteau, doesn't want to give this up. And now Olson is in a Team Shazoo sandwich. And the best ally for Fournier is Marteau right now. If Marteau can somehow get back at Olson, put a fight, you know, but you know, just to show you the incredible pace of Olson, that dropping down to 9th was able to make all the overtakes necessary to get back to the fight for the lead. You know, despite having some incredibly fast drivers that we know are incredibly fast, you know, in front of us. Birgersson is around, coming out of the 300 section, and back he goes onto the track, as we have 21 laps in the books, starting lap 22 right now.
Lap 22 in there, charging all crazy Tobias Oslin, right behind Alex Fournier. Who is it going to be taking the win here at Snetterton? It is going to be a fight to the end between these 2. QT Marteau has actually fallen off between these 2 as Alex Fournier has turned on the jets, but Oslin is making a charge. Last time by, his Sector 3 fastest out of everyone, and 4/10 faster. Oslin into the grass. He's using every bit of track and then some with some spare change. And oh my gosh, he is still pushing like a madman.
He is pushing, he knows. You know, we might have to suspend the race for, you know, like they did in the 1800s with baseball games. They stopped them because of, you know, darkness. No, we should be able to finish this race.
We definitely could.
The cloudy weather is not helping.
Oh, look at that difference of wide. Fournier went a little bit wide on the entry. Oslin took it, well, yeah, Fournier took a wide entry to get a better exit. Fournier had such a better entry that they almost had a collision mid-corner, and now they're just separated by 3/10. Fournier through the final corner. This is where he's better than everyone else at. Nose to tail on the gearbox in the slipstream. Fournier better watch his inside, and sure enough, he gets all the way to the wall, squeezed back out onto the outside. New fast lap for Oslin. Oslin looking down low. He sticks a nose in there. Fournier around the outside. Oslin backs out of that moment, and oh boy, looking down the inside to the Wilson hairpin.
Oh,
Not going to be
mistake.
time, but he pressures his hit, pressures forward air into mistake, who locks up. Oslin gets it off to do the exit. They're still side by side heading into the new inner loop. Right on the outside, almost contact between the two, but it's Oslin into the lead.
Tobias Olsson with a fantastic move. Here comes Fournier. He won't give up easily, but there is no space there. And in all of this, they have completely dropped Marteau. Now 1.5 seconds back from the lead. He will, close the gap a bit now thanks to this scrap. But Olsson with a fantastic performance and daring overtakes. This is one of the best races we had in quite a while as Marteau goes wide. The exceptional comeback from Olsson, the excellent battles for the lead, and now his final 5 laps for Tobias Olsson. He has to look after those tires. He has really pushed hard all race long. He hasn't stopped pushing. Basically since making that mistake on the opening portion of the race. And now, for the first time, he has clean air. Oh, he clips the grass there, careful. This is the corner where he went around.
Still pushing. He is still pushing.
He is still pushing. What a fantastic race, Austin. What a season we have on our hands. And after, domination in the past couple of seasons. Oh dear!
Oh my gosh!
The Team Shenzhou drivers.
I think you need to calm down. I think Olsson needs to calm down just a bit. You don't want to throw it away when you're just holding on to the lead. You already had enough heartbreak in one day.
As I was saying,
Austin, you're a Detroit Lions fan.
It seems like the Team Shenzhou drivers seems like they have found a worthy opponent, and there are plenty of worthy opponents, of course. Petty, Ermer, as you can see there, they are very good drivers on their own. By the way, great race from Luca in his comeback appearance, sitting in 7th place. Dare I say, pretty comfortably in 7th. He shouldn't have time to catch Tony Jimenez, but also shouldn't have time to be caught by Sonny Rosario. And the top 10 debut appearance for Kazuma Kokubu, even though I think he had a couple of spins or severe off tracks, but still he's holding on nicely. But he's been hunted down by Vlad himself.
Yeah, I don't know any Vladimir Putin stuff that I could actually say. No, I'm not going to say it. But he is closing in on 9th place as our leader. Tobias Oslin is pulled away and just steadily. That is the most linear graph I've ever seen, and he made 2 overtakes during that.
Yeah, now it should be very satisfying because we should have 3 on one side and 3 on the other. Next time he crosses the line, which is going to be a limited lead in a bit.
4 on one side. Technically, there's one in the middle there.
No, but it's pushing on the left, so the bottom one will disappear.
It will be 3 on 3. So you're just doing this for yourself.
I still have a bit of time to go before he goes to the start-finish line. Cody Grams and Alessandro Daredonne, who survived the scare at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, somehow spun off the line. Graham's having a little bit of a lockup right there. Shoot up a little bit of dirt, and down the inside looks Andy Flint's Putin Power, side by side through the hairpin, heading into Hamilton. And Andy Flint thinks twice about sending it Russian style down the inside, but he's still sitting behind on that gearbox, waiting through Williams' corner and down that back straight. Let's see if he could get right up there. Don't believe it's going to be close enough. It's not. But he's going to definitely try. Oh, big mistake on under braking right there. Goes off, and right behind him, that's Lucas Maruk on his tail.
Here comes the digital apex car of Maruk into bomb hole. And on the start finish line once again. Sky is turning purple now.
Absolutely.
There was an overtake registered, but it's because Cody Grams is having issues with his connection.
Now, this also has been the race with the most pit stops. We got 14 cars have gone into the pits today, and I believe that's a new iGPFun record for the most cars visiting pit lane.
Oh dear!
And Cody Grace has spun around.
He was having connection issues, but this time I think it's a legitimate issue, as we've seen him facing the wrong way, entering the hairpin. No contact that I can think of, unless the 61 completely missed his braking point, which, you know, is always a...
There was connection issues, but that is more of a grip issue. Almost reverses into Zachary Beeson right there. Very unfortunate, but somebody who's had the most fortunate race after being multiple laps, multiple positions down after reversing it off the line. Tobias Olsen back again, sending the fastest lap of the race and strutting his stuff out there. 2.2 seconds in the lead, 2 laps to go here at Snetterton. I say we got ourselves a championship fight and a great season ahead of us here at the iGPFun Formula 3 Series, presented by Virtual Racing School.
Off goes Daledon in the 61. He should be able to keep the position over Zachary Beeson. We haven't talked a lot about him, but there he is with his beautifully colored car. Still 37.0 for Olson is the fastest lap of the race again. As Kokubo has got quite a lot of cars behind him. It's in fact Fleet and Maruk. So he's being a bit of a truly trained right now, as we are getting closer to the white flag, and Flint might go for it.
Look! Oh, those brakes are glowing red hot right there. Lucas Maruk trying to get him off the exit. He is right on the gearbox. 1, 2, and 3 through Hamilton as they are fighting over 9th place right now with 2 laps to go. Just look at those brake rotors. These things are glowing. And I think this is the first time some drivers have seen their Formula 3 brakes glowing, as they don't race this late into the day. White flag in the air for Tobias Oslin. And looking down the inside, heading into that weird chicane. It's Kabuku and Flint. Kabuku holding it off, heading into bomb hole. Maruk looking down to the inside of Flint. Big send for 10th place, but look around the outside. Here comes Flint on Maruk. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers right there? Brake rotors glowing up once more. Maruk going to hold off 10th place now.
And there's a decent
Kazuma
exit.
Under pressure for one more lap. Maruk heading into the hairpin. He's going to have to earn this position if he really wants that 9th place. He's going to have to get the elbows out and go deep into the playbook. He's been on a charge in these later laps, and he is got the pace for sure. No move looking down the inside right here, but he's right on that gearbox. I think he had to get off the throttle just a little bit. He almost got into the back of Kabuku right there. So we go to our race leader, who was down in 9th, came back up to the lead after reversing off the line. Tobias Oslin, the Scandinavian, takes the win here at Snetterton with a new fastest lap as well to seal the deal. Fournier and Marteau finish out the podium.
Here we go.
Fight for 9th. Looking down the inside, here comes Maruk. But Kazuma's got the inside line in the chicane, trying to go for the switchback. Maruk cannot get it off right there, and he's got the bomb hole right there. he was able to make it happen right there as we get a nice cockpit shot of Kazuma heading down to the final corner. Is it going to be a last chance dive for Lucas Maruk? It's going to be a drag race. Here comes Maruk off the exit. Does he have enough space? He's going to be alongside him. It's going to be a drag race towards the line, but it's going to be Kazuma by a nose for 9th place.
Great drive from the debutant there to score top 9. Chuck Mauro goes for some lone mowing. Who do we have left? Cody Grams and Daryl Govender with Elvin Cortecas fighting over P17, P18. And final few drivers we are waiting for. Zoltan Zomotor is at the top race. Finishes in 21st. Martin Devine will be 23rd. Leonard Cherry, who's at another tough race. I still think there is incredible potential in this driver. Down in 23rd, and we have a fight between Dennis and Ruseski, with the pink cat having to settle to stay behind Reed, who finishes in 25th position. Where's our winner? There is his first ever iGPFun victory, as far as I know. And now, more importantly, we have the results from tonight's race. And there they are on your screen right now. So the winner for NHR is Tobias Olsson. Finishes in front of Alex Fournier and Thiago Marteau, the Team Shazoo drivers. So then the 2 PDR drivers, Gavin Petty and Samuel Ermer, 4th and 5th. 6th was Antonio Jimenez Teyes, or Tony Jimenez. Luca Varani, welcome back to the series, to the boss, in 7th. Sonny Rosario in 8th, in front of the debutant Kazuma Kokubo in P9, and Lucas Maruk in 10th. Andy Flint 11th, and Chuck Mauro in 12th. Johan Birgersson was 13th, in front of Alessandro Daredonne, recovering after a tough start. 14th place. Zachary Bison 15th, and then Cody Grams, Elvin Cortecas, Daryl Govender finishes in 18th. 19th was Richard Van Veen, who lost part of his name again, apologies, after gaining it back last week. Julio Palacio in 20th place. He gained a team name after last week. Zoltan Zomotor, as we say, 21st. Devine 22nd, in front of Leonard Cherry and James Cockram. Reed Dennis was 25th, in front of the pink cat himself, Antonio Rusevski. Stuart Mill and Patrick Rowlands. Stuart Mill 1 lap down, but Patrick Rowlands conceivably the first of the retirees. Also not the best of days for Russell Kirkwood, Ito-san, Koji Ito, Rod Maguire, Clark Williams and Adam Tasma, who said that the start was all his fault, so probably missed a shift, or the clutch had a problem or something. He didn't go at all from the starting grid. So Austin, what an exciting race, as we say, never judge a book by its cover, and certainly as we know, some of these tracks might not be famous for exciting racing, but today we were proved wrong. And next week we will take the plane, we'll move all the way to the Pacific for a race at the Grand Prix layout of the Suzuka circuit.
Yeah, Suzuka is going to be a fantastic race for these cars next time by. Very classic circuit. We always get great racing there, and I can't wait to see who of our 3, Fournier, Marteau, Olsson, who is going to be standing on top of the podium and take the charge in this championship fight once again. And it's going to be so much fun watching it and watching this race live here on Apex Racing TV. Thank you everybody for joining us here on the iGPFun presented by Virtual Racing School here from Snetterton. I've been joined by Marco Bobanera. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.